Today we're going to be reacting to Yungblud Idols Part 2.
This is a collection of new songs to extend Idols. We've got 7 new tracks here that we're going to jump into, one of them being the feature that he released with Smashing Pumpkins, so I'm very excited to jump into this.
We did listen to Idols on the channel and I really enjoyed that, quite like the direction that Yungblud took. So let's kick things off with the first track, I Need You to Make the World Seem Fine.
It's like static that kind of sounds like the sea. Lovely bit of acoustic.
The way that it's mixed between the headphones is quite weird. I feel like I'm floating away.
Pictures of idols rise up and fall. Wish you knew it all. Lift your head from the pillow.
Very somber, but very uplifting feeling so far.
It kind of sounds like the Karma section of a Metallica song. Do you know what I mean?
Like One or something, yeah.
You know there's no middle, so don't fight the change. It'll all be alright in the end.
I like that downward walk there. God, he's been working on that voice, hasn't he? Oh. I'm really liking them downward steps.
Couple seconds left. Is it just going to be a slow fade into the next song?
Yeah, possibly. More of like a ticking clock now.
A very calm introduction to part 2. I quite enjoyed it though. I thought the use of strings was really good. Just the odd little guitar solos / notes in the background. Never too prominent, but enough to keep the song interesting. It didn't feel overly calm. There was a few elements coming in and out still.
Yeah, there was a lot of little licks from the electric guitar, which I quite liked. It was a very ballad track, wasn't it? And it was also a track to just kind of let him show off his new vocal chops that he's been working on, because I think fair play to him. He's obviously put the effort in. You can hear it on all of these songs. He's getting to a point now where his vocals aren't... I feel like a point of contention for Yungblud in the past was his vocal delivery and how he sounded, and him working on that is going to open doors for him, for fan bases, and for people to actually start coming into his music, because previous albums were a lot more, I don't know, accented, let's say. His accent came a lot through more, whereas this feels a lot cleaner, but that felt like a kind of, yeah, what you said with the Metallica calm part, or like, you know...
You can tell there's more depth in the background, but he wasn't overdoing it. That's how I read into it.
Yeah, it felt, and like we said on the first part of this album, it's idols, so it's based on his idols, and there's a lot of stuff in here that's kind of like Aerosmithy, and it's in that vibe of 80s music, and I quite liked that.
Before we go on to track number 2, if you are a Yungblud fan, please remember to hit like and subscribe. We've reacted to Weird, we've reacted to Idols Part 1, we reacted to the EP with Aerosmith, so hit the buttons. But up next is the Postman. feel like this is going to have more energy already.
Oh, there we go. Is that like a little mandolin over the top? Doesn't sound like a guitar.
Let's go for breakfast in the morning after the night.
Oasis-y, immediately.
Did you get my violence? They were laced with love from the second-hand store. Everybody wants to be loved. Everybody wants to be adored. There's a package in my door, but I've been waiting for the postman, but he's passed out on the floor. Today's your birthday. What's a beautiful day to die?
I feel like he's really channeling Liam Gallagher. Really.
Maybe a bit too much, actually.
I am liking this use of non-standard instruments, and also that, in the background.
what?
That being used as part of the instrumental. That's quite cool. It's quite cool.
Yeah, it's good.
Was he saying you? He's saying something.
It's either you or yeah. That sort of guitar solo. It's not even a solo, it's more like a riff, isn't it?
Yeah.
Let's go for breakfast in the morning after the night before. Did you get my violets that were laced with love from the second-hand store? Everybody wants to be loved. Everybody wants to be adored. There's a package in my door, but I've been waiting for the postman, but he's passed out on the floor.
That could have had one more kick in at the end, couldn't it? Could have just another 10 seconds of energy.
We had that mention of Everybody Wants to Be Adored as well. I don't know if that's kind of a callback to Stone Roses, because obviously one of their biggest tracks is I Want to Be Adored. That felt very... Like, I feel like saying this isn't that detrimental, because I feel like the whole point of the album is that he's saying these are the artists that I liked and I'm kind of influenced by them. That felt very 90s indie. Like Oasis-y, Stone Roses-y, very Manchester vibed, but done in a way that kept it fresh because he had the instrumentation that wasn't used on those tracks. But like we were saying, the vocal delivery did feel very Liam Gallagher.
It was a rather inspired song. Not that makes it a bad song. I still enjoyed it. I still had fun, but it certainly felt like very Manchester. And I don't know, it didn't feel that unique and different, which is one of the things I like about Yungblud a lot of the time.
I think so far, these first two tracks have been, what I want to say, safe. They feel like they've not really pushed many boundaries. You know, we don't have like a zombie on here or anything like that. But up next, we do have Zombie. And it's the one featuring Smashing Pumpkins.
I love the Smashing Pumpkins. One of the best bands.
Those drums are so big.
If I was to talk about the words, they would hurt. They would hurt.
Nice little bass line in there.
So if you were to ask about the pain, I would
I really like the mastering on those drums as well. That bass kick in the snare.
It all feels so clean.
Very sanitized.
to fix my mind. I need time, but it's running out. It's running out. Oh, I know.
They've done a very good job of making it feel different to the original.
Yeah.
Yungblud fans, let us know in the comments, do you prefer the Zombie with the Smashing Pumpkins or the original? I think it'll be pretty split, to be honest.
There he is, big Billy Corgan.
Corgan's a bit of shit now, isn't he? I love the Smashing Pumpkins, but
Sounds like he's doing a Billy Corgan impression. Do you understand what I mean when I say he sounds evil? Like an evil character in a kid's film or something.
he's the villain of this song.
Yeah. Oh, finally. Dom's back.
Proves how good Dom's vocals are, though.
Oh,
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Here where they're harmonising, this is quite good. Together. Big ups to Dom carrying it.
Yeah. I love that distortion and that tone on that guitar. Woo.
They've done a good job of bringing the energy up in this last section. Just a couple bits that kick hard.
You know what? Right. I really liked what they did with the track there. I think it also shows how good the songwriting is in the way that they can change it up and make a kind of, well, a part two to the track, really. It's kind of like a reimagining, let's call it. But good Lord, Billy Corgan's feature on that. Oof.
I feel like the Smashing Pumpkins feature worked in terms of what they did instrumentally and how it sounded quite, down their alleyway, I guess. But Corgan's vocals on his individual section were particularly atrocious, if I'm being honest. I said at the start, I love the Smashing Pumpkins. I do. Their first couple of albums were insanely good. That was like 40 years ago now, and you can certainly tell that he's the older gentleman in this song.
And I know Will from Cinematics, who we've done a couple of videos with, shout out to Will, link will be down in the description. He has said himself that he thought that Billy Corgan's vocals were particularly poor. I've not listened to this track up until this point, so I've just kind of seen people's talking online, and now I completely understand what he means by that. I don't think it ruins the track. I just think if Dom had just done all the vocals, I would have liked it infinitely more. Like I don't want to besmirch Billy Corgan, but
yeah, I love the guy. I don't want to hurt him.
Yeah, he sounds like an evil animated character on this track. He sounds like a little skeleton man or something. I don't know, but I liked the track. Didn't really like the vocals in that center section.
Me too. So let's move on to track number 4, Time.
I love an intro where it's just somebody picking up the guitar.
It's been 2 hours since I left you in New York City now. But I guess good love dies young.
This feels like it is just Dom in the studio with an acoustic.
If I don't look
Like even the
back,
quality of the
get
recording.
married now. Make me wonder for the rest of my lifetime. I just need more time to figure out who I'm gonna be in the morning. Time, we all need more time. You said you'll be fine. Did you really mean it?
I mean, it was nice enough, but a very simplistic track. To be honest, from this part 2 so far, I'm kind of waiting for what we had in part 1, where I'm like, whoa, you know, some big, grand, energetic moments where the whole band comes through. We got nice strings and stuff. That's a fine track. It does its job. A cool little story, nice songwriting. But it's just very simple, isn't it?
Yeah, I think the lyrics are good and the kind of purpose of the song is good, you know, talking about time and people needing more of it, which I think we can all agree with. There isn't enough time in a day. Found out recently as well, the reason there's 60 seconds in a minute and an hour is just because people in the past used to like the number 60, these old mathematicians. So it doesn't actually, the thing that we base all of our lives on is just kind of, we like the number 60 because it divides nicely into multiple numbers. Anyway, that's off topic. That track there, it felt like it was one that he couldn't put on the main album, but he liked it enough that he thought, you know what, I'd like to release this. Should I do it as a single? Probably not. I'm going to do a part 2 to Idols. I'll throw it in there.
Yeah, it feels like a throw-in one. So let's go straight on to War Part 2.
So this is what I'm looking forwards to because it should be a continuation.
Everybody loves the way you are. You don't let them look inside you, do you?
A bit of fingerstyle acoustic with those strings.
Could have bear a scar for you, for you.
Ooh.
But I wanna be a fake. I wanna be a liar.
Yes.
Instant reminds me of the original, the Part 1.
Mm-hmm. I like that bass. Really punchy.
I really like the feel of this. It's like a stereophonic song.
A little bit,
Proper.
yeah. That's like a sampled guitar note. It's not an actual guitar playing. It's the intro of a guitar playing. That snare did a lot to keep the beat moving forwards.
Every time I try to speak,
I'm really intrigued by that guitar sound.
it's another wasted breath without you. Just another drop of blood I bleed.
I just really like how his vocals are contrasting with the instrumental in that section.
Mm-hmm.
It's for me.
For you?
But I wanna be a fake. I wanna be a liar.
I feel like we're still missing that one level, that next level.
Yeah, there's still a little bit of time left. Yeah, like a little tiny pitch shift up. Get that resolution.
But every time I do, you turn around. And I'm not ready to kill. I'm not ready to die. And it's beginning to
That's so big. Big.
Here it comes in waves. Are you feeling inspired? Are you having the best time of your life?
Ooh. Couple of horns thrown at the end.
I think I would say out of the tracks we've had so far, that was my favourite in terms of production. Really like that middle section with, as you said, I don't know what it was, if it was a guitar, if it was a sample of the same note kind of repeating a little bit. Whatever it was, it had a strange familiar feeling to me. It was like early 2000s indie, not Oasis and stuff, more like a Stereophonics, as I said. I just liked the vibe it created, and then when it all opened up, it was rather grand, and I enjoyed that.
Yeah, and I quite enjoyed War off the original part of the album as well. So to see, like I say, before we listened to the track, when I saw there was a part 2, I was like, oh, this should be quite good. And it did not disappoint at all. The guitar sample part I really enjoyed. And something about the track in general was that all of the instruments that would sound normal usually, like the bass, the guitar, the acoustic, all of these different things, they all had a certain, I don't know, mastering to them that made them sound different to what you would expect them to sound. And we also still had the heavy focus on the orchestral side of things, which we heard a lot in the original part of the album. And I'm glad that there have been some tracks on this that have featured those. Obviously, at the end there, we had some horns and some trumpets creeping in. We had the strings throughout. And I think overall, a lot of work has gone into the sound of that track rather than it being like, let's try and make an alternate version of it. It genuinely was a continuation. And I would be really interested to see how it would sound if you listen to War, followed by War Part 2, running into one another. Because how long was War? 3:51? So you could have essentially maybe 7.5 minute, 8-piece masterpiece there, and it could be pretty good.
I like it. Well, Tim, before we go on to the second to last track, I want you to tell the people who have made it to this point in the video what we do on this channel.
We do all sorts on this channel, and it's always to do with music. We listen to music, we listen to music, we listen to music. So if you like watching people listen to music and reacting, check us out because, we're ace at it. So please subscribe. Please like if you liked it so far. We're going on to Blueberry Hill.
It may seem like you know everything that you feel.
That piano sounds like the intro to like a 90s sitcom.
It tastes of Blueberry Hill. I believe everything that you feel. Tell me, when are you going to land? Yes, it's possible to be young and you love it. It tastes of Blueberry Hill. Gone by every old road.
Oh, that pairing.
Take me back in time.
The harmonization and the instrumental following the vocal line.
Heroes on.
Got a very warm feeling on it.
Is one with mine.
Very deep in terms of sound.
And you're screaming out your lungs won't let you down.
Whoa, get them trumpets out, lad.
Every day it feels like never-ending fun. Though you've never been together, though you know you're
Oh,
much better, don't forget yourself when you come back around.
oh,
Vocals.
yeah.
I won't ask you to tell me the truth, but I beg you to speak from the depths of yourself. You know I would be useless without you. Take a pound from the till. Don't forget yourself when you come back around.
We've experienced the angry, angsty vocals and beautiful vocals in one track.
What a note that was.
On Blueberry Hill right now.
Oh,
And all my life I'll be with you. All my
I like those kind of walking floor toms going on.
I'll be with you.
Beautiful. But it's not the end. But wait, there's more. Oh,
Go where nobody knows your name. Don't matter where you're from or where you're going. Change. It won't ever stay the same.
Almost feels like a part 2 here.
yeah, of its own track, in the track.
Last forever.
nice. Vocally, the best track on the album so far.
Amazing, yeah.
I really enjoyed it. We kind of got both sides of Yungblud in terms of what he's capable of with his vocals. Both sides are amazing. I do still kind of feel like I'm waiting for a track to proper have a little dance to. Do you know what I mean? We've had some epic moments. We've had some fantastic production. That kind of felt a little bit more experimental in moments, especially in that last section. But I've kind of just been waiting to have a little move around, a proper little boogie. And there's been the odd 10, 15 seconds of tracks where we've got that, but it's never extended out for more than a minute.
I really, really enjoyed that track. I would say that's potentially one of my favourites off the entire project. There was a couple on the first half that, you know, obviously were absolutely phenomenal. That one felt like the best of the other tracks. That I really enjoyed that. There was a strong, I think, I want to say like Beatles vibe to it in the way that it was put together. There was a bit of Sgt. Pepper's-y kind of stuff in there. There was kind of the marching drum snare. We had the second part of it in the same song. There was a lot of stuff going on. And also the topic being Blueberry Hill. When I introduced it, I thought, this kind of feels like Strawberry Fields, like a fruit and then a thing. Blueberry Hill, Strawberry Fields. I was like, is it kind of in that vein? As we listened to it, I started to realize that, yeah, maybe it is kind of going in that direction. There was a lot of stuff going on, and one thing that really needs pointing out, obviously, is vocals, but also the drums on that track were fantastic. There were those parts where we had the instrumental, the harmonies, and the vocals all following the same line, and every time that a word was said, the crashes came in as well. And then we had a little fill on the floor toms and that. I think that was a really, really good track.
Would you rather go to Blueberry Hill or Strawberry Fields?
I think Strawberry Fields, just because I think strawberry's a safer flavour. Sometimes blueberry can be, I don't know if I'm in the mood
sour, maybe.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like sometimes you get the little tiny blueberries. They're just not as good.
Well, we're going to neither. We're going to the Suburban Requiem now, Tim.
Oh, I don't think that's a place.
Is it not?
I think of Requiem's a place.
It's like a place in your head though, isn't it?
If that's what you want it to be.
I think that kind of makes sense to be a place.
Well, we'll find out what Dom thinks it is. All in one ear. And then we get the swelling strings in the other ear. There's been a lot of panning on this album so far, on this extended part anyway.
Slow down, yeah, man enough to have it figured out.
Almost feels like we're underwater. Feels very chill.
For that stale ambition, looking to be found. Everybody knows they're special till they look around. Have you closed your eyes lately? Listen to the sounds. Don't hide, don't fight, don't cry. No,
I'm really not sure where this is going to go.
don't hide.
Could get that big injection of energy, could just continue on this kind of level.
I know you're after that kind of uplift of energy on one track, aren't you?
And all the places that you go, in the sunlight and the snow, you know I'm gonna be right here next to you. In every dream you try to be, every time you don't believe, you know I'm gonna be right here next to you.
Oh, yeah. That's not very nice. Stealing a kid's laces from his shoes. There was your little injection of energy there. Oh, it's back.
Ooh, the little guitar chop before that as well. Bit of a surprise for us.
Really subtle harmony in there. Really subtle. It almost sounds like a choir.
Yeah, proper.
I like those echoey vocals as well.
I think that was the perfect way to round out not only part 2, but the album as a whole. It makes sense, doesn't it, to have that little moment of energy towards the end. What did you think of that, Tim?
I thought that was a really good track, and like you say, to round out the project as a whole, that was a good way to do it. Sometimes we can get these, let's say, extended editions or complete editions of an album, and it works out that the final track ends up being something that isn't quite what you'd want it to be, and it just kind of feels like they've just tacked a load of songs on. This felt like, all 7 of these songs felt like they were in the right vein. You know, it's exactly what he was going for with the original album. The sound was still there, and it didn't just feel like a deluxe with, here's 3 extra tracks. It felt like a really thought out project, and I think if you were to listen to this from top to bottom, you'd really enjoy it. The only track I would probably get rid of is Zombie featuring Smashing Pumpkins, unfortunately, but I can understand why Dom, being as big of a fan as he is, being approached by a band like that, they want to do a song, he's probably thinking, go on, I'll whack it.
And it is on an album called Idols, so it makes a lot of sense to have the Smashing Pumpkins on there. I think that perfectly ties on to the overall project. I would say part 2 by itself, for me, it felt like a lot of the songs were quite personal, especially lyrically. And I know that Yungblud fans will really appreciate that, and I'm sure that people will massively relate to a lot of those songs. Little bit of energy missing, but we got it in that last song, which rounded it out really, really well for me. However, one thing I will say, which I said about part 1, I really like a lot of the production choices that Dom has used throughout this entire album. I feel that he's taken some risks. He's taken some moves that I would never have expected him to take in terms of kind of going down a bit more Beatles, going down a bit more Smashing Pumpkins, going down a bit more Oasis. If you'd have told me that Yungblud was going to do that 4 or 5 years ago, I'd have laughed at you. And I think he's done a pretty good job of doing it all, and that's mainly because his vocals are so impressive paired with those production choices.
The production choices and the orchestral and the instruments and the people that he's got working behind the scenes, I think they need a massive shout out, especially the drummer throughout this entire project. I don't know if it's been the same guy on every track, but if it has, fucking kudos to him. He deserves way more credit. This as a whole, fantastic work. I think Idols is probably my favourite Yungblud album, and I don't think that's unfair to say. I haven't listened to all of them, obviously. If there are other Yungblud albums that you think we should listen to that we haven't already, be sure to check our back catalogue, because we have, with Cinematics himself. Let us know and we'll get around to them. But this, so far, as a complete piece of work, I think is one of my favourite albums of, maybe the past year or so, to be honest. I think it's definitely up there. And what it makes me feel is excited to see where Youngblood's gonna go in the future with his next load of work. Now that he's kind of got this rebrand underway, what is he gonna do with his next stuff? Because I don't think he's gonna go back to that kind of like pop punky rappy sound again. And I'm excited to see how he expands on this and whether he goes in more of a grungier direction. Will he go in more of a orchestral kind of ballad direction? What's he gonna do?
I was gonna say, I think it's as you said, that the rebrand that has impressed me the most. I liked Yungblud when I was younger. When I was like 18, 19, which is like 8 years ago now, I used to listen to his old punky stuff, and I related to it quite a bit at that age. And then I kind of fell out of it a little bit. Then, like, the more he was releasing down that path, I was like, it doesn't work for me as much. I still enjoy it, and I can still appreciate it for what it is. However, I think that this twist in the road has opened him up to a whole group of new people. And I hope that people who maybe didn't give him a chance before do, and go listen to this album.
I do think one thing that holds Yungblud back slightly, maybe not so much these days, because I feel like Yungblud is slowly becoming a household name. Everybody knows of him. Ever since the Ozzy Osbourne show, he kind of blew up, and, you know, his name became synonymous with the music that he makes. But I do think Yungblud is such an odd artist name for the kind of music he's making. It's a rapper name, no? Do you not think?
No, not particularly.
Y-U-N-G, Yungblud. Yungblud.
Nah, I get what you mean. I think because it says blood in it, it kind of makes me think he's going to be really heavy metal.
Yeah.
Anyway,
something
it's
like
got
that. Yeah.
some sort of connotation, and when you listen to him, it's not.
It's not what you expect, but also it has kind of worked in his favour, because there aren't any other artists out there with a name like that are making music like he is. So he's kind of carving his own path, and maybe we'll see young organs.
There's loads of youngs, loads of youngs. Anyway, we're getting too up topic. If you've enjoyed this video, please remember to hit like and subscribe, and we will see you again soon.
Thank you very much for watching.